Coach Anthony here with Coach Forrest with AJ Mihrzad, an amazing coach and online coach too as well, and he's our online coach now too. What we're going to talk about is mindset, and by the way, he's an author of the book,
The Mind-Body Solution.
Mind Body Solution. So you're going to want to check that out on the link below. So the question that we have, AJ, is I'm always talking about and Coach Forrest brought it up yesterday, is the gas pedal. You know,
Yeah.
when we become committed, or a client becomes committed in something, we can hit that gas pedal and we're going and we're going. We may be going for a week, 2 months, and all of a sudden something happens, or we put our foot on the brake. How do we break through that to get that foot off the brake and continue on?
That's great. That's a great question. It's something that I struggle with myself. I was 60 pounds overweight at my heaviest, and I was overweight most of my life. I had chipmunk cheeks, man boobs, big old stomach, and I would always be affected by losing weight and then gaining it all back. I'd be on a diet for 2 weeks and stuff my face full of Oreos. So it was something that I didn't solve until I got into the fitness industry, and that's how I got to become a personal trainer, so on and so forth. But it was a lot of just understanding the mindset, you know, because realistically, why we sabotage ourselves is a cause of our own thoughts or the way that we look at weight loss or nutrition. Because a lot of times we look at it like being on a diet, something detrimental. It's a short-term pain that we have to endure to get to our goal. But what really got me to lose weight, lose the 60 pounds and the man boobs and everything, was realistically seeing that this is a lifestyle shift, you know, coming to a point where, you know, if I just look at it like this short-term pain I have to endure, it's going to be a struggle constantly because you can only stick to it for a certain amount of time. But then the big shift that came when I saw that, okay, well, how can I make this enjoyable? How can I do exercises that I love doing? How can I incorporate foods that I enjoy eating? And most importantly, like, once I started to make a lifestyle shift, I started to understand that, well, for me to stick to this, I also have to be happier, be more in a place of well-being. So that's when I went back to school. I got my master's degree in psychology, and I really looked at the inner mind, and I saw like how many things affect weight loss. Not just our thoughts, but from a biochemical point of view. When we are stressed out, our body produces cortisol, and cortisol causes your body to hoard fat. So when you're in a very high stress state, your body's putting on fat, and then you're emotional eating. I had a hard time emotional eating because when I was younger, my excess weight caused a lot of depression. So because of that depression, I would find comfort in foods. I'd stuff my face all the time, and that just made me feel better. It was like a drug. So I was learning to become a happier person through understanding psychology, studying it, and then using that with my clients as well. And that led me to write the book, The Mind-Body Solution, because it's really losing weight from an inside point of view. Because once you get the inside right, the outside takes care of itself. So being in a place where internally, once you make that big shift, all of a sudden you'll start to be more focused, more productive, but also like being on a nutrition plan will be a lot more effective because when your cortisol levels are very low, your body's burning more fat for fuel. When your stress levels are high, your body's hoarding fat, especially belly fat. That's where a lot of high stress cortisol related fat is developed. So it's being in a place where, you know, it's one thing to just be on a strict diet or a nutrition plan, but also having a sense of well-being. So looking internally. And we're here at this amazing seminar. It's all about the mindset. And one thing that we're learning so much is that because we are now given the tools to work on a person's mindset, you know, basically they're making that inner shift. But once you make that inner shift, like I said, the outside starts to really fall into place a lot easier.
Awesome. AJ, I got one question for you is, what's something that somebody that's watching right here, right now, they're in pain, they're frustrated, you know, some things are working, but some things aren't. And what's one action item that they can do now to gain an edge over their mindset, to feel happier, to have more fun with their workouts? So I love how you said that.
Yes. Okay, so I'll give you 3 powerful steps.
Whoa,
you
three.
implement these.
3. Over-deliver, baby. There we go. Sounds
You'll
good.
see a significant change in your just overall health, well-being, and happiness.
Yes.
But also your body will look better too. So number 1 is, this was actually discussed a lot this weekend, is something that I've incorporated for many, many years, and that's journaling. And I talk about this in my book, where basically when you are keeping track of your day and the things that happen, all of a sudden you get new insights. Because like, for example, I've always been an emotional eater. So when I would write down, okay, well, when I had this negative thing happen, I would eat a whole box of pizza. So they were connected, right? Or like when I eat these foods, I feel good about myself, right? Because nothing tastes as good as being lean feels. So it's like having that whole feeling of like certain foods make me happy. They make me feel healthier. Because I feel healthier, I'll do more. I'll get up and I'll do the morning cardio. I'll have that extra piece of broccoli because it's equating to my happiness. So when you journal, you get a lot more in touch with your internal sensations. But also you understand when you eat fried chicken, you feel like crap afterwards. So you know, it's like, so the more you do that, the more you understand your mindset, but also your patterns, your habits, so on and so forth. So I recommend starting a journal or a diary, whatever you want to call it. Every day, just write down your thoughts, write down your habits. I've been doing it for about 15 years, and it's changed my life. It's had a significant impact. It takes a bit of discipline, like anything, 21 days, you journal, it'll become a long-term habit. Number 2, do some type of breathing exercise, okay? You call it meditation, you can call it breathing exercise. It's not to be a religious practice, more about a psychological practice, because we have about 80,000 to 100,000 thoughts per day. So when you're in a place where you can take short little breaks of just focusing on your breathing, you then reduce your thinking process. And the less you think, the more focused you are, the happier you are. Because 90% of our thoughts are repetitive, so they're like really the same thoughts we had yesterday, and they have no use to us. So being in a place where you're aware of your breathing, it shuts off the mind for a very short amount of time. Just ask yourself this question: when was the last time you heard the sound of your voice breathing? Okay? Last time you heard your own breathing is probably a very long time, because you're so consumed by the everyday grind and just the monotonous, irrational thoughts that are going on in your head. So just taking 1 minute a day to focus on your breathing. And I do a little exercise, and I talk about this in my book. It's called the 100-count breathing exercise. Breathing in through your nose, breathing out through your mouth. Just see how many times you can count. So you can start to like 20, 30. If you get to 100, you're a Jedi mind master.
That's awesome, yeah.
So, you know.
Coach, I've been doing 50.
Oh, 50, okay.
Right, yeah.
So I'm almost there.
That's it, you know? In through the nose, out through the mouth, just, keep track, hundreds to go. And the last and final trick, or, tactic you could employ throughout your week is just getting to the point where whenever you are feeling stressed, whenever you're feeling overwhelmed, your cortisol levels are like jumping through the roof, do some type of activity that will burn calories and also reduce your cortisol. So, a lot of people here this weekend are talking about taking some time to dance or to play a sport, something that's active but it's fun.
Yeah.
So whenever you are stressed out, instead of dealing with that stress and just living in that state of high cortisol, you're in a place where you're releasing it, you're having fun, you're burning calories at the same time. So just, if you realize there's some proactive things to do, but there's also reactive things, like when you see a pattern coming up and you're gonna emotionally eat, or you're stressed out because of work, having something to counteract that. So then you replace that with a positive habit.
Wow.
All right.
Man,
That's
dropping
powerful.
bombs. Dropping bombs. AJ, thank you so much,
Hey,
man.
my pleasure, Forrest.
I really appreciate it, man.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so
Anything,
much.
yes,
you.
anytime, anything to help.
Yeah.
So-
Take notes, write those down, use them.
Check the link down low.
All right. Way of life. See you guys.
Yeah.